And you can still hear me okay over here? Yes, awesome. Okay. So the teaching for today is about effortlessness in action. And this is really the core principle in our level 1 training, our 200-hour training. And it's, it's a being yogaism, is effortlessness in action, but it's more widely known as flow state, or athletes might talk about it as being in the zone. So it's where focus and energy and mind all come together within the body, and there's an ease about the movements. So you can bring the hands into Namaste and just take a few moments to let yourself get settled and scan through the body. The very first way that we begin effortlessness in action is to actually dial down the effort. We are notoriously primed to over effort in our Western society. So maybe you're clenching the jaw, maybe you're hardening around the eyes, maybe there's tension in the neck and shoulders, and you can realize that all of this is wasted energy. And as you drop all of that, start to feel an effortless ease in the body. And we'll start to circle the arms around. So release the hands down, brush the backs of the hands over the knees and circling all the way out and up. Let the palms touch, and exhale the hands down through the center. And a couple more times like this, inhaling out and up, and exhaling down. And again, just noticing the tendency to over effort. Are you hardening or overdoing the muscular effort that's involved? It should be pretty ease filled already. Inhaling to lift and exhaling down through the midline. Then going into this circle of joy or mandala, heart opening mandala. Inhale to interlace the fingers, lift the elbows high. And as you exhale, press the arms forward and round through the spine. Let the movement be ease-filled. Inhale to rise up. And exhaling, circle the arms around to interlace behind you. Inhaling, lift the heart open through the front of the body. And exhale, circle back around. And so it's like you're moving through water, such ease. Inhale, float the elbows high. Exhaling, pressing the arms forward. It's like the breath is moving the body. Inhale, imagine helium balloons floating the arms up overhead. And exhale, like you're riding a thermal as the arms come down and interlace behind you. And then inhale to lift and open once again. Exhale to circle back around. So we need to wind down the effort in general. Most of us Westerners need to dial back our tendency to over effort. So let's explore that as you come forward and into downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. And in your downward dog, just focusing in, scanning through the body from the palms of the hands to the apex of your mountain shape, and then down through the legs, and see if you're overzealous anywhere. Again, key areas are the jaw and eyes and in the neck and shoulders. So maybe nodding the head yes a few times, really letting go with gravity there. And then applying this right effort, right action to the pose. So then let's inhale the right leg up to the sky. And exhaling, Bringing the knee forward into the chest. Even there, noticing, are you overdoing it? Are you straining at all? Inhale the leg up and back, and exhale the foot forward to the hands. We're going to come straight up into Virabhadrasana 2. And Vira 2, let's then go to the other spectrum. So over effort here, be like that, real eyes on the prize, and stretch out through the fingertips and even tense up through the legs and scissor the legs towards each other and be hard here, which you don't hear often in a yoga class, but often some people are already like that. They're striving by over efforting. So then can you dial it back completely and be like completely soft and placid, like you are on lying in a hammock in Vira 2, as if you would, but and then we want that Goldilocks position in between. So you can find the extension through to the fingertips, find an effortlessness there in your Virabhadrasana 2. You could imagine that there's fit balls holding your hands up, and that you don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to do it all yourself. You can then release the hands down and go one hand either side of the foot and step yourself back, maybe wagging the tail a little in your down dog. And then let's switch sides. So inhale the left leg to the sky. Again, get that sense that it's floating up effortlessly. Exhale, coil and round like a hug. Hug the knee into the chest. Inhale to stretch up and back. And exhale the foot forward to the hands. So you've got your left foot forward in Virabhadrasana 2. And again, let's just go over efforting, overzealous and hard here, even clawing through the fingertips and harden through the arms, harden through the leg. And then turn it, dial it. So we talk about these ones and zeros. 1 is effort and 0 is effortlessness. So do that for a little longer this time. And as you do that, you could actually feel that it's quite tiring to be so floppy, that you don't have the energy to hold it. So then let's find that balance, that sweet spot between the effort and effortlessness, between the ones and the zeros. So everything in the universe is switched on or switched off. We've talked about that a little. So effortlessness in action is that sweet spot in the middle. And then from here, let's exhale and lower the hands down. It brings a sustainability to your practice. Then to step yourself back and into downward facing dog. And in your down dog, then ripple the spine forward into, inhale forward into a plank. And bending the knees, exhale and move back through downward facing dog. Inhaling, find this wave-like motion rippling forward, and it's ease-filled, and exhaling to rock back. And of course, you could do this on hands and knees. That would be completely fine. A couple more times here. Finding a smooth fluidity in the body. And then coming forward, lowering yourself down. And as you take the arms out to the side for Shalabhasana and lift the head, chest, and legs, get a sense maybe of a puppeteer above you who's lifting you up rather than, again, you needing to do all of the work. Let yourself be lifted. Think wind beneath my wings, that uplift, upshift. And then exhaling to lower down. So what you might notice is that this is an attitudinal shift rather than a physical shift. It's imperceptible. press yourself back into downward facing dog. And inhale your right leg smoothly to the sky again. Exhale, stepping forward and come up into your crescent position. Inhaling up into a crescent pose. Exhale, tip forward, winged warrior. And again, use those fit balls. Imagine those fit balls there as you travel forward. So keep the hands supported by the fit balls as you come forward into Vira 3. And find an ease there. Can you imagine that your torso and back leg is like on a bed of feathers and settling down? And then inhaling to lift and stretch the arms up and lift through the knee and crossing over into your Garuda. Actually, before we take Garuda, just go pinky toes touching so the legs are crossed, and inhaling the arms up. And side bend over to the left side, over to the left side. And again, can you find that sweet spot? So everything in the digital world is ones and zeros. Even me streaming through here, it's actually just broken down into ones and zeros. So can you maybe switch off that which doesn't need to be switched on? Come back through center, open the arms out. You've got your left leg on top and cross it around and come into Garidasana. And again, I like to think of this support. So maybe sinking the hips down as if onto a fit ball, unhinging the jaw, softening around the eyes. Where are you switched on? Where is a 1 that could be a 0? And then releasing the arms down. So we'll step back smoothly. Step all the way back and into this lunge position once again. Inhale the arms up and exhale across into a twist. So feel free to go with your left hand on the floor. Revolved Parshvottanasana. And again, scanning through the body. Is there some way, whether it's an attitudinal thing or switching off the muscles that don't need to work? And then you can exhale and lower the hand down. Step yourself back through downward facing dog. Like a wave, ripple forward through plank. And bend the knees, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale and float the left leg to the sky. And exhaling, coiling as you come forward. Inhale to stretch up. And then stepping forward with that same ease. Inhaling to rise up into your crescent, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, tip forward, winged warrior. Launching forward. Virabhadrasana 3, but with support. I know when I'm supported by friends or family, there's a feeling of ease. Again, that feeling like I don't have to do it all alone. And you can inhale up, bringing the left knee up. This is your right knee, would you believe? And then lowering down, touch the pinky toes together. Inhale so the legs are crossed. And then we exhale over to the right side. So you should feel a stretch through the whole right side seam of the body. Pardon, this is your left. I was mirroring you. Thinking about mirroring you. So what is it that you are able to relinquish? You don't need to control, that you don't need to have white knuckles trying to steer things. Maybe go for that feeling of the support that's all around you. You can then inhale up, and we'll take this across into your Garidasana. So I go with the opposite elbow on top, but it doesn't matter. It's entirely up to you. Sinking in a little. I think when I'm in flow in my life, one of the greatest examples is car parks. They just show up, inhaling to lift the right leg up and exhale back through your crescent position. Inhale to lift, and then exhaling straight into your twist, whatever that looks like for you. And as you find this shape, just scanning through, so that union of mind and body. Is there anything that's switched on that doesn't need to be, that you could switch off? So getting back to car parks, yes, it's an attitudinal thing. Am I driving around going, I can never find a car park? Or am I driving around going, people are always leaving, and they are. So releasing and placing the hands down, but move back into downward facing dog. Take a couple of these rippling dog movements, this wave-like motion. And when I get the car park, then it's a little affirmation of feeling like I'm in flow. You can melt back into child's pose for a moment, the quintessential effortlessness pose, and melting there for a moment. And even in a resting pose, some people, I see students, they've got their shoulders all tight, like the arms are forward and they're overactive here. Can you instead dial everything back? And then from child's pose, just roll yourself over onto your back. I just want to take a little, again, this flowing bridge pose movement, and then we'll be done. So from bridge on your back with the fingers touching the heels, go palms facing down. And then inhaling and lifting the hips up, and one vertebrae at a time to lift. And exhaling again, that wave-like motion, lowering from top to bottom. Like links in a chain, inhaling and lifting through the hips, and one vertebrae at a time. And exhaling, lowering. Adding in now, inhale to lift. This time lift right up onto tippy toes, get that maximum height, but the buoyancy comes from this rising up comes from an effortlessness, not from a hardness, as you then lower back down. One last time like that, inhaling to lift and exhaling. And this time, as you exhale down, a natural extension of that will be to lay your legs out and pause for a couple of moments here. Effortlessness and ease, woven with action. that right amount of effort, right amount of ease that helps you to live in a sustainable, joyful way. Good for your body, good for your mind, good for your shopping when you get those car spots. So you can then stay for a few more moments if you'd like to in Shavasana, or come on up and wish this same luxury of effortless ease to all beings. It seems like a luxury. It's actually our natural state. However, in this moment, it might be a little more effort, but just consciously relax and dial back as you go through your day. Blessings to you. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. And thank you for sharing it with me.